You're refusing to give her information.
No, what happened is...
I'm only going to ask you one more time, and then I'm just going to have to cuff you up, man. I don't want to do that.
Can you get your supervisor out here, please? Can you get your supervisor, please? Because I was on the sidewalk.
We could totally get you on your way if you could just provide us your information.
I don't believe I've committed any crime to be warranting me to ID myself. I feel like criminals have to ID themselves.
Can I get your ID?
For what? No, I don't get it unless I...
trespassing right now.
No, I only give it if I commit a crime.
The incident began with a man filming outside a bank in an exercise of independent reporting, in which he had stepped onto the public sidewalk to carry out his work as an independent journalist. Recording footage. Most probably for a piece or other journalistic purposes, he was ignorant of the fact that what he was doing was routine activity destined soon to be raised into an increasingly tense confrontation with local law enforcement. This meeting would reveal the officers' apparently misinformed understanding of constitutional rights and their tendency to action towards a misguided sense of authority.
What's your name and your badge number?
Officer Bremer.
Bremer. And what's your name and badge number?
Long story short, it sounds like whatever you were doing at the bank, they don't want you to be over there.
I was on the public sidewalk recording.
Okay, well, they said whatever you were doing, they just don't want you over there.
I was on the public sidewalk. They can't tell me not to be on the public sidewalk.
Man,
I know, I'm just... You want to go over there?
No, not really.
We can go over there. I told them, they came outside. Let me calm down. They came outside, the guy, Aaron. He said, hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm an independent journalist. I'm just gathering content on the story. I was walking all the way up down Truman, and I walked down there to record the train. And then the lady came out, she said, hey, you can't record the bank. I said, ma'am, I'm on public property. So...
Yeah, but you could see why that would kind of make them uncomfortable, right? I mean, it's a bank.
You can't even see nothing.
I know, but they don't know that.
Yeah, you can. If you stand outside and you look at the bank, you can't see anything.
The saga began when the bank employees grew uncomfortable with the filming man near their place, so they dialed the police. It wasn't too long before officers arrived and held his identification. Apparently, they considered him to trespass private property and wished to investigate his identity to arrest him for delivering a warning. The man refused this because he said that he hadn't done anything wrong and thus has the right to exercise his rights to record in a public space. The officers were not moved by his explanations and insisted on his identification, saying that non-cooperation would earn him handcuffs. While an implicit threat of escalation, the man could only be calm, but unyielding. After all, he was claiming that he was not tied to comply unless he had committed a crime. He requested to be taken to a supervisor in which he thought at least an officer of higher rank would bring some sense into the madness and sobriety to the chaos that was happening. The conversation between the young man and the police continued with him giving more detail into his acts. He said he was walking and filming along the sidewalk and had no intention of filming the bank at all, although it was very much visible in his shot. It seemed that the officers were not convinced by his explanation, though. They said the employees of the bank are uneasy about him, and they wish for him to leave. In response, the man clarified he had stayed at all times on public property and never stepped onto any of the private property owned by the bank. Filming from a public sidewalk is obviously not trespassing, he said, a legal fact that clearly seemed to have been lost on the officers. The officials continued while saying they were not comfortable for the employees working in the bank, hence they had reasons to intervene.
It's a reflect.
Do you have an ID on you?
Do I need an ID?
Yes.
For what? What crime have I committed?
They identified you. You just identified yourself as being over there.
On the sidewalk.
I'm investigating.
Okay, what crime?
This is.
What crime?
Possible trespass.
I was on the sidewalk. I was. How you gonna trespass me and I'm on the sidewalk?
Because they're saying you were on the front.
I got camera footage. Now, if they lying to you and I show you that they're lying, are you gonna do something to them?
That's between you and them.
Oh no, that's somebody over there is lying. I'm on the public sidewalk. I came all the way up Truman. I walked down there to get the footage of the train. On my way back, I just looked at the bank and they came running outside. So, yeah. Came back over here, walked there, about to go to work.
Yes, I need your ID.
No, sir.
I do, though.
No, you do not. For what crime?
I just told you they put a call on you.
I wasn't. I was on the out, and I wish I was still on that sidewalk when you pulled up. I wish I was on the sidewalk. I was right here, sir. No, I'm not. No, I'm not obligated. No, I'm not obligated to give you my ID because I haven't committed no crime. No.
During the discussion, the officials continued to increase the pressure on identifying the man. They seemed to think that he needed to be stopped for filming and that the anxiety of the employees working at the bank was enough to oblige them. From their angle of view, the anguish of the bank's employees appeared to matter more than the rights of the man. The officers stated that the employees testified that they saw the man around that place. They also claimed that they were investigating a possible trespass case. The man maintained his ground and stood on the sidewalk all that duration. He had no legal reason to be asked to identify himself, as he claimed to have committed nothing criminal. Even when he is trying to de-escalate the situation by requesting the presence of a supervisor who may go on the scene, they still urge him to produce his ID. In case he will not, they will handcuff him. He holds out on his beliefs and keeps asking for a supervisor who may explain the situation and intervene appropriately in dealing with the situation rationally. As the standoff continued, the officers became more agitated. They tried to water down their actions by arguing that the employees of the bank were having to endure inconvenience. They claimed their fears deserved the police response. They seemed more interested in placating the bank than in trying to comprehend the man's rights to due process. However, the man responds that tinted windows in the bank made it impossible for him to view anything inside, further dimming any suspicion that he may have been trying to capture some sensitive information. The officers still didn't change their approach to the situation. The officers made one point when they referred the conversation to his car, saying tags on his car were not appearing in their system. The man questioned how this was possible, noting that the car came from a dealership, so maybe explained the state of the registration. He pointed out to the officers that they hadn't observed him drive and noted they'd have no problem with the registration of that car if viewing it in this scenario. The officers continued on anyway, even questioning whether he had the registration paperwork with him. It seemed like they were trying to divert the topic of discussion, the real one, which made the gentleman ask the question. The man had committed a crime for recording on the sidewalk.
Brother, is your tags aren't coming back on file. Okay. For the Kansas registration. Do you have the registration paperwork for it? You can hold your phone up and zoom. No, it's okay. No, I'm trying to be asking you a legitimate question. Do you have the registration for the vehicle? Hey, you guys. So this is when, and I had my selfie stick out when I was recording. I was on the public side. Now you're redirecting against my question of. I don't have to answer your question. I asked you if you have the registration information for your vehicle that you drove here on the Missouri roadway that is unregistered as of right now. Now, it doesn't go through our system. We ran it through out of Kansas. Go ahead. Now we need to verify to make sure. So that's why I'm asking you if you have the paperwork. You didn't see me drive the car. How else did you get here? It don't matter. How else did you get here? It don't matter, sir. It does. It does. And if you see that came from a dealership.
Right. Wanting to give us your information.
No, listen. If I committed a crime, I will give you my ID. That's what reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime. I was standing on that sidewalk, sir. Why would you try to infringe on my rights?
So let me get this straight. So
why would you try to infringe on my rights, Mr. Brimmer?
You're going to stand outside of a bank.
No, I walk.
I heard you.
Okay.
So you're going to stand outside of a bank every day, videotaping the bank, and you don't think that's going to make the employees extremely uncomfortable?
See, where they get uncomfortable.
In the inner city. Do you stay in Kansas?
Their uncomfortability don't stop my right.
Okay, so that makes most businesses extremely uncomfortable.
And what's up with your buddy, man?
Throughout the incident, he explained how he felt his rights were being infringed upon without any reason whatsoever and should not be taken lightly. He recalls asking them why the officers wanted to pressure him into producing identification if he had not done anything wrong. He believed that from his point of view, they were trying to feed their need for powers rather than to enforce the law. They decided to detain him despite his ongoing protests. The officers made him sit on the curb, treating him like a criminal, ignoring his repeated claims of having committed no crime. His protestations were disregarded and handcuffed in full view of the public. He maintains, in fact, throughout the ordeal, his detention was illegal and that his right to record in public was being unjustly infringed. He thought that the officers were wrong and that his rights were, thus, ignored.
So now that you've identified yourself now as the one being said, or one
standing on the sidewalk,
videotaping them and making them feel
no, I came to
issue the verbal warning.
No, listen.
Which is what we're trying to do so we can send you a bunch away. You're refusing to give your information.
No, what happened is...
I'm only going to ask you one more time. And
Go
I'm
ahead.
just going to have to cuff you up, man. And I don't want to do that.
Can you get your supervisor out here, please? Can you get your supervisor, please? Because I was on the sidewalk. You know what I would have liked to happen when you guys pulled up and they called you guys? Hey, where was he standing there? Was he on you guys' property? You should have... What I would have liked is, sir, when you pulled up and they told you what happened, hey, he was on the sidewalk. He has every right to record on the sidewalk. I wasn't even coming to the bank. I was coming to get the train.
There's officers that monitor the city cameras that saw you verbatim on their property.
That's a lie.
It's in the code.
Okay, do you want me to stop this video and show you?
No, I would like to get your information so I could issue the verbal warning and send your bunch away.
I wasn't on their property. That's how trespass works. Trespass, if you're on the property, they tell you to leave. That's how it go. They give you a chance to leave, and then you're trespassed.
And they don't know that you have a selfie stick. Why would citizens that are probably unarmed come and approach you?
You say that one more time?
Why? Okay, so first off, you're videotaping, you're standing outside, you're being extremely suspicious. They can't tell that that's a selfie stick. Why would citizens...
They can't tell. It was like this.
They can ask me a question and not let me...
I was like, Aaron came outside and talked to me. We had a good dialogue.
That's not what the lady on the phone said to put in the call about you.
I can show you the video. Y'all want to see the video?
No, I'd like to get your information so I can send you away.
For reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime.
All the reasons
You did not, sir. I'm just wait. Let's just wait for the super. Let's just see what the supervisor say when he get here. This is wild.
Okay. Well, I don't like your movement, so I'm gonna.
What I'm doing?
You keep backing away from.
No, I'm not doing anything.
Suspicious.
Why are y'all taking my cat? Y'all gonna stop my video? I'm not going anywhere.
I'll set it down there.
A superior then arrived on the scene. The man hoped that the superior would see that the man's rights were violated and correct the situation with the officers. Even though the superior could sort out the matter by having him released, it was already too late. The man had been openly detained and embarrassed for merely exercising his right to videotape in a public place, which he legally should have been allowed at the beginning. The affair could no longer be reversed by the time the supervisor intervened. Thus, it had a feel of injustice to it. In the post-engagement analysis, one can clearly see that officers concerned acted out of misplaced hubris and understanding of the law. Officers were driven by ego and a failing respect for the law. The primary concern here seemed to be in appeasing the bank employees rather than respecting the man's rights. What the man experienced with law enforcement brought out an even more underlying issue: a need for officers to receive complete training on constitutional rights and what those rights entail, rather than what is said or recommended by personal feelings or outside entities.
So are you going to refuse another lawful order?
I'm not refusing. First of all, you got me detained. Yes, for what crime? I'm on the public sidewalk. This is illegal detainment.
At this point,
illegal detainment.
And I literally just said that I would like to let you go.
This is illegal, sir.
This is illegal. Well, we can keep cutting me off. But the way that you're acting, as of right now, we've given you multiple commands and you're not abiding by them.
I don't have to follow your commands if I haven't committed a crime, sir.
You don't have to follow...
Not if I haven't committed no crime. It's not lawful if I haven't committed a crime. It's not lawful if I haven't committed a crime. Mr. Burmer actually did a real good job, but they came, they asked me for my ID. I said, what crime have I committed? Because if I haven't committed a crime, I'm not obligated to show an ID. So that's what I told the guy. And Mr. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He got offended when I said that. I said, listen here, I'm just exercising my rights today. Okay. The First Amendment to record in public. That's all I've been doing, sir. You just seem like you just kind of took it personal. That's why I just said, hey, instead of going back and forth, let's get a captain or you got supervisor.
We could already sent you home,
And
man.
he said you're the captain from the coach.
Well, he's about to tell him the same thing he told you.
Okay.
We can't verbally trespass somebody we don't know.
You can't trespass my life.
I get what you're saying.
Plain
but
view
you're
doctrine.
just there.
Plain view doctrine. Look at this. They taking cuffs off me.
Yeah, I told you you were detained.
Illegal.
Now you just been.
He illegally cuffed me. Sure. Yes, sir. Yeah. So they pulled up, y'all. They cuffed me, man. Yes. 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 Look.
The man's experience with law enforcement was an eye-opener not only for what was being done, but to remind police officers of understanding and respect for the Constitution. Officers whose legal prowess is not that sharp create liabilities for the communities where they are meant to serve. Examples as shown here are destabilizing citizens' confidence in law and tangibly raise the question of whether citizens' rights would be respected when interacting with the police in the future. The incident portrays how the actions of serving police can go seriously wrong when such officers treat the legal rights they are supposed to protect under their authority rather than minding the rights of the people they serve. In another encounter with police, a man stopped by officers following contact after a suspicious activity report. The officers said the basis for the stop was that a person was parked in an RV across the street from an elementary school and appeared to be sitting alone. Man complained he didn't know why he was stopped and kept asking what crime they suspected him of committing. The officers stated that they were there to check if this person was trespassing since they were parked on private property. This individual pointed out that there was no sign posted that said "Do not trespass." He also pointed out that he never refused to leave, which is a prerequisite for a trespassing charge.
You're asking for my ID. Is it because I'm on private property or is it because I'm suspicious?
Because we're called here for a suspicious person, that's why that we're here.
Okay, then I don't wish to identify myself.
Well, then we're gonna have to talk about that.
Okay, let's talk about it. Do you not want to talk about it anymore?
No, we're not going anywhere.
Oh, okay. Am I free to go? Am I being detained? What crime do you suspect? What crime are you detaining me for?
You're not, like I said, we're right now just looking at your. This is called a suspicious person as someone.
Is that a misdemeanor or a felony? Being suspicious. Is that a misdemeanor or a felony? Being suspicious.
We're just trying to identify you.
And I'm trying to figure out why I'm being detained.
All right.
Why am I being detained?
Well, we're trying to figure out who you are and what you're doing here. That's it.
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
All right. We didn't say there's any crime right
So what am I being detained for?
now. Right now, it was called as a suspicious person.
What crime do you suspect me of committing to be detaining me right now?
Right now, you're parked on private property.
I can't leave because you're detaining me though. What crime do you suspect me of committing to be detaining me right now?
Can I explain, sir?
Is there who's the leader right here?
May I explain?
Who's the leader right here? Are you in charge?
I'm not.
Who's in charge? Are you in charge, sir?
No. Our sergeant is occupied right now. Can I explain what's going on?
Don't touch me. No. I won't.
Can I just explain?
No.
You had a question.
What am I being detained for?
Yeah. I'm gonna answer it for you, pal.
Okay.
Okay. So, can I explain?
I'm asking what crime. I'm not asking for an explanation. I'm asking what crime do you suspect me of committing that I'm being detained for right
Well,
now?
technically, it's trespassing because this is private property.
So
he explained to you.
But I have to refuse to leave though.
No.
Apparently, during the session, the person seemed interested in leaving, but the officers asked the person to stay because they claimed that they needed to verify the detainee's identity so they could release him or her. However, this individual insisted that he or she did not commit any crime. This individual did not want to provide identification because officers' reasoning that it is legitimate cause for detention, so they may be investigated further, is not valid. At one point, the argument became intense as the suspect asked the police officers how credible their claims were, mainly on the issue of whether mere suspicion was enough for detaining the suspect. At one point, the officers then stated their real interest was who the person was and that there was no crime going on. It was at its boiling point, sometimes even having moments of disagreement. but the officers kept on trying to explain their actions and assert control over the situation. However, the individual persisted, questioning the legality of the officers since he detailed his rights and lack of proof to show that he had done something wrong. This led to a long question and answer session where each person articulated his argument again and again for hours. The officers eventually announced that they were waiting for a supervisor, while the individual was concerned that he was being detained for no provable reasons.
You said your supervisor's coming, correct?
No, he's not coming. You
Okay.
asked if I was in charge. And I said no.
Okay. So who's running the show right now? Because everybody's giving me like half a 2 cents.
There's 3 police on scene. 3 police
Okay.
are in charge.
And what crime are you detaining me for
I
currently?
just answered.
Trespassing?
Trespassing. We need to ID you. We're not trying to charge you with a crime.
You have to have a trespass warning first. You have to give me permission to leave. You can't just give me a ticket for
I'm
trespassing.
not trying to give you a ticket.
Then what do you need ID for?
You're detained because of that. I'm not trying to give you a ticket for anything. You understand that?
I don't understand that because
The whole
if
reason why we're out here, if I can explain. The
So-
whole reason
so if
why
I'm-
we're out here. No. You're in an RV parked across from an elementary school.
correct.
That's the reason why we're here. Because
Okay.
you could probably agree with us that it is suspicious to wait in an RV the entire day across from an elementary school. Wouldn't you agree?
No.
Okay.
That's
well, in the eyes of the
subjective.
law, that is suspicious, and you are
Really? In the eyes of the law, that's suspicious? Where in the law does it say that an RV across from the school is suspicious?
It doesn't have to say it anywhere.
Okay, that's very ambiguous. I understand if y'all want to come out and make contact with me, cool. But to have 3 police officers say, no, you're detained after you make contact with me and I'm willing to leave, that's unacceptable to me. So that's why I'm just not willing to deal with y'all right now. I feel like that's...
Okay.
If you're...
Well, I'm trying to explain it to you.
Well, I mean, what's your end goal here being here? Do you want me to stay or leave?
We'd like to identify you.
So your whole purpose of stopping here is just to ID me. It's not to get me to leave the property in general. So I don't understand how that helps your basis of trespassing.
I think ultimately it would be best if you left, but right now we need to ID you before anything happens.
Okay, well at this time I like to remain silent.
I'm just here because I'm a school officer in the school call. That's all.
Okay, I apologize. I don't know if you were working all day, but no one came by to make contact with me earlier. Okay, yeah. To my point, there's no trespassing signs in front.
No, I get it. My experience, we've had people over here, and I'm not even accusing this. I've had guys taking pictures of kids. We've had sex offenders around. I'm not even.
I don't even want to. Okay, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Okay. Call me a pedophile. Disgusting. You get out of here. Freaking disgusting. Have a gun on your hip. I don't consider you a murderer. Ridiculous.
It was later that the scene was diffused by the supervisor, and the person was set free with no further action being taken. The supervisor intervention pointed out the issue of oversight and clear communication about these incidents. The initial detention on suspicion was doubtful, therefore the person was to be released.
You have somewhere to be?
Again, I wish to remain silent at this point. I'm not... Okay.
No, because what I'm saying to you is if we could totally get you on your way if you could just provide us your information. We'd be on your way in 2 minutes. That's the only missing piece.
I don't believe I've committed any crime to be warranting me to ID myself. I feel like criminals have to ID themselves. I haven't done anything wrong.
Sure. If you have nothing to hide, then there's nothing wrong with you providing your information.
If you don't have any law to state that I have to provide ID, then you have no right to ID me.
Explain it.
Well, I disagreed with you, so we're waiting for a sergeant to come, I guess, after his medical call.
We're not obligated to have a sergeant respond here at all.
Okay, and I'm not obligated to answer any of your questions.
Okay, but so nevertheless, you still are detained.
Okay.
And then we'll just
And I'm not
remain
moving.
detained for what? The rest of the day?
I don't know. That determines on you. You're running the show right now, not me.
It doesn't determine anything. It determines me.
Yes,
What does
because
that-
you're detaining me. I'm not detaining myself. I would like to leave at this point.
Sure.
You're saying I'm detained, so that's on you. So you're running the show, not me.
Yes. And this entire thing, you'd be on your way in a couple minutes if you just provided your information. But you're refusing to do that. So that's why we're here at a standstill.
Okay.
So we'll just remain at a standstill.
Okay.
So, is there any way I can see your license and then you'll be moved on your way? That's it.
we already know what the registration is on the vehicle and all that stuff.
Again, I don't
Let's
wish to
start
answer
it out.
questions, and I wish to remain silent at this point.
Okay? But listen, right now you're on township property. That's what we're talking about. And we're just asking just for your driver's license. That's it. We identified who owns the vehicle, and you said it was you, correct? You're Matthew Cribbo? We just wanted this done so then we can get out of your hair here. That's all that we're looking to do here. We're not looking to violate any rights or anything like that. You can, like I said, we're on recording as well. We all have our body cameras on and our MVRs on right now. All right? That's all we need to know. And then we're going to get out of your hair. That's all that we need.
Confronted with the picture.
Did you? All right. So I don't really know what the big deal is here, but you can go.
So I'm not longer being detained?
No, we finally identified.
Excellent, thank you.
Such interaction once again highlights a greater argument on the balance of responsibility and ensuring law enforcement investigates suspicious activity, while citizens are assured their rights not to be detained without proper justification. Questions arising out of this incident have relevance to training, accountability, and the apprehension on the part of law enforcement that detentions must be carried in accordance with constitutional guidelines on protections against unreasonable searches and seizures. These cases also highlighted the general issue of how suspicion, being abstract, leads to confrontational situations, often as people feel their rights are being abused. Resolution, therefore, brought out what should be followed in the right procedure and the value of interventions by the supervisor in resolving dispute between officers and the public. They have served once again as another reminder of the delicate balance between law enforcement's duty to investigate and citizens' rights to operate freely within the bounds of the law. What began as a simple exercise in independent reporting, a man filming on a public sidewalk quickly escalated into a confrontation with officers seemingly misinformed about constitutional rights. Miscommunication and misadventure quickly turned a routine procedure into a tense standoff that, even though diffused by a supervisor, raised residue questions about the training and judgment of the officers involved. In this instance, and the second where another individual was arrested after being parked in an RV, a common theme presented is that suspicion, absent some tangible underpinning to validate it, can quickly destroy trust between the public and law enforcement. There was also a significant question placed before the reader concerning the larger overall conflict officers' perceptions of authority and the law between the rights they are meant to protect. Supervisors did take intervention in those situations, but by then the damage had already been done to the citizens, who were left feeling that their liberties were conveniently misconstrued and overextended in some way. But what these encounters really underscore is the need for proper training, effective communication, and accountability. Without these, similar showdowns will continue to sow mistrust, leaving communities feeling vulnerable to the unjust treatment of those charged with their protection. There's still hope, though, that those law enforcement agencies will be able to learn from these interactions as they improve their understanding of citizen rights and ensure every single person's constitutional freedoms are respected. Today's first video is coming to us from Aaron Curry, and it's taking place in Howell, Michigan. Also, it involves the City of Howell Police Department. Aaron Curry was once again at odds with local police. He had been squabbling with the City of Howell, Michigan, over rights to a property for years. He thought he would finally have his day in court to sort it all out legally, but nothing seemed to be working. City workers often passed over onto his land without permission. They sometimes parked on his land, which didn't help matters much. Aaron had already complained both to the city and to the police, but the chief of police seemed to do pretty much as he pleased, often sending officers to patrol the area and ride along with city workers.
They need to leave. I'm asking you for your help. You're the police.
I'm here to keep the peace.
No, that's not accurate.
You guys have a civil issue going on.
I don't
know
have a
too
civil
much
issue.
about that. I know you talked to my chief yesterday.
Have them leave. I'll take the poles down.
That's something you guys can work out together. I'm not going to sit here and get in between it.
You're not going to sit here and let me protect my own personal property?
One day, Aaron decided to tape the next contact he would make with police, as he felt that his grievances were not being heard for long enough. An officer came onto his property to monitor a situation where city workers were. Aaron approached him and asked the city workers to leave his land immediately. The officer listened attentively and explained that he was just there obeying the orders of his superior. and that this was a civil issue Aaron had to handle in other ways. Even when Aaron declared that those employees were trespassers, the officer said he did not take direct action, not meddling with the matter.
Hello? Good, how are you?
Okay.
My property goes from that corner to that corner. There is no right-of-way. You're following them to trespass. I'd like them to leave my property.
I'm just doing as I'm told. I'm here by my chief of police.
I understand. I talked to him yesterday. I told him there's no right-of-way.
He's the one I'm...
They need to leave.
He's the one I'm going to direct you to speak to.
They need to leave now.
He's the one I'm going to direct
They
you to
need to leave now, man. Man, this is my private property.
But right there, I know you have a thing going on with the city and everything.
I have nothing going on. That gate isn't blocked. It's unlocked. Why are they on my property, taking my personal property?
I'm not going to...
What's your name and badge number, please?
Sergeant Briggs, my badge number is 12.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I'm not going to ask you to have them leave.
No, I just...
I filed a police report with the Livingston County Sheriff, which is the jurisdiction here. They need to leave. I'm asking you for your help. You're the police.
I'm here to keep the peace.
No, that's not accurate.
You guys have a civil issue going on.
I don't
know
have a
too
civil
much
issue.
about that. I know you talked to my chief yesterday.
Have them leave. I'll take the poles down.
That's something you guys can work out together. I'm not going to sit here and get in between it.
You're not going to sit here and let me protect my own personal property?
As the conversation went on, Aaron became irritated. He reminded the officer that, being law enforcement, he was there to maintain peace, and by allowing the workers to stay on his land, he was, in fact, condoning a violation of Aaron's rights. He persisted, instructing Aaron to contact the Livingston County Sheriff, since he would be responsible for their end. Aaron did get cynical, protesting with increasing frustration against the exploitation by the city and its unfair treatment of him. That, however, didn't break into the officer's composure, as he communicated throughout the encounter.
You're the City Hall Police. You're a sergeant.
I'm not going to go back and forth with you.
Fine, then call the Livingston County Sheriff, who has jurisdiction in Marion Township. I've called them, and they said it's a civil dispute. And like these guys are coming out to pull down my shit. And I've told you not to trespass on my property. You need to fucking leave. Do you understand? I'm on my property.
Can you stop yelling?
No, they need to leave.
Please. I get that you're upset. I understand. Please. Please.
I think, yeah, we're going to just leave. We're
Good.
not going to deal with this.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all I
Obviously,
asked for
it's
yesterday.
not over, obviously.
I understand
You are
that.
working with the city. You
Yep.
can continue to work with the city.
Thank you.
We'll just leave.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you.
I'm
I
not trying to
apologize.
get off on bad blood or anything like here.
But this is bad blood. This is bullying. This is the city trying to take advantage of a system. I don't know who they're in bed with the Motorsports Gateway, with the dicks out here from Novi, but this is garbage. I've taken them the information.
You're okay. You're okay.
But they bully us. They clearly bullied us.
Again,
it's corrupt.
Thank you for keeping your calm and your cool when I'm not, and I understand
I
that.
understand that
Don't let them.
I understand that you're frustrated. I get it, and I get there's a whole thing going on. I don't know much about it. Okay.
Right. They can't. They don't have
And it's,
paper
you're
trails,
just
and they need
a
to quit
public
touching
servant.
our
Thank you
stuff.
for your
So,
service, and I apologize.
So I hope your day goes a little bit better than it is right now. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Throughout the ordeal, Aaron claimed that he felt the city was corrupt, and they were harassing him using underhanded tactics. Still, he is quick to point out the fact that the officer was professional and comfortable even under the tension. He indicated that before he left, the officer apologized for the frustration and recommended that he continue working with the city to find a resolution. This was when Aaron kept hammering on how his rights were being trampled. He quoted the Fourth Amendment to the people, which protects them from unreasonable searches and seizures, wherein law enforcers cannot enter private property without some form of probable cause or a warrant. To him, the police occupying his land breached that constitutional right and made him feel he must not budge.
Hey, hello, sir. Good, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm Mike Curry. Nice to meet you.
I'm a CPL holder, so you know. I know.
Carrying in my building?
I'm not. I'm redneck, but I'm not that redneck.
What's up?
So, here's a copy of Lincoln County Sheriff's.
Don't need it.
Okay. I filed a police report last week. Here's a copy of my public records data. I'm in Marion Township.
Yep.
Okay. The city police were on my property this morning, pulling out stakes that my legal counsel had asked me to install.
Okay. You have been informed, as has your legal counsel been informed.
Not this legal counsel.
Who's your legal counsel?
They're out of West Bloomfield.
Okay, well.
They're going to be in contact.
Okay, Brewer's been advised, so if he's not your counsel anymore, then you guys do whatever you gotta do.
Yep.
You have an issue with the city. There's no issue with us. The police did not pull your stuff.
No,
Actually,
they
the
stood
police-
by and
Correct.
blocked my approach.
And they trespassed 3 times.
And they were sitting on my property this weekend.
I was the one that was there.
Okay.
And they're not sitting on your property. They're trying to go do what they're supposed to do and go check Motorsports Gateway, which they do every day, and which they've been doing for the last time.
Motorsports Gateway property does not attach.
Hold on just a moment.
But the city's also
every single day you've been back there for how long?
the city's been checking Motorsports Gateway daily for a long time.
Through that entrance.
I don't know if they go there or if they go off Lucy Road. There's 2 accesses.
Well, I can tell you they don't go through there because I have 2 cameras pointing directly.
I know. I see all your social media.
Okay. We're
My
not taking it.
my position while we were there was to be neutral.
Okay.
The city has easement access through that property. You can debate that with the city. The state's already confirmed it. Everybody else has already confirmed it.
Okay.
I'm not there to debate where your property line is. I'm not an engineer.
All right.
I'm a stupid Marine.
And it's right.
So
thank you for your service.
I'm not there to debate that.
So that's a civil.
My job was to say,
that's a
if
civil.
you were there, my job was to say, you can't attack them and they can't attack you.
Okay.
So that's what
Even
we
though
were
it's
there.
the
So how come
sheriff's
you guys
jurisdiction.
didn't make contact with me?
I didn't need to. You're in Marion Township. I didn't need to. What they were doing was on city right away.
That is disputed.
Okay, and it is, but you're not going to battle this out with me.
No, I
you
understand.
have
I'm trying to
Right.
understand. I don't want to go to jail.
You have
civil
Irv,
matter.
you have
We'll
Irv,
settle
and you
it that
have
way.
the city attorney that you deal with on this matter.
Yes.
Those are the 2 that you deal with.
Okay.
My purpose of having a car there was to make sure that you didn't run out and attack somebody, and that nobody ran, and that none of our
It's
guys
not going to happen.
ran out and attacked
Yes,
you.
right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
We were neutral party. That is our job. That's the police's job. It's not to take sides. We're standing there and go, nobody.
Good. So if I continue to put it up every day, then you're not going to arrest me.
You're probably. I know you already talked to Murph because you talked to him 5 minutes before I talked to him, and he told you it's a civil matter.
But then the city police showed up, which told me it's not a civil matter.
The city police didn't show up to take your stuff. The city police showed up to make sure our DPW workers didn't get attacked.
Okay.
That is all that we were there for. And we weren't on. Cool, you guys need anything?
Right. You're not.
I don't know what the big battle is.
You're not dumb.
I don't know
and
what
I
your.
appreciate it.
I don't know what your whole.
So the state of Michigan said it's dangerous for people to be pulling in and out of there, and what they're calling a right of way is now being overburdened by bringing through construction trucks.
Okay.
Tandem axle, gravel haulers, low boys, right out in the middle of D19. The state of Michigan Department of Safety, MDOT, Michigan Department of Transportation ahead, Southeast Michigan, sent Irv a letter that said, look, this is not safe. Do not use that for
And
access.
that's what Irv needs to deal with them. This is a civil matter. You got to go to court.
We're gonna
go to court.
We're not gonna go round and round. Thank you.
I go to court. I hope you guys can get an answer because I hate to see you guys have to battle this stuff out for no reason.
Whether it's a win or loss, we will get an answer.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Then we can get the trespass.
More broadly, from the incident, a lesson was, when confronted with unwanted law enforcement presence on private property, it's crucial to stay calm while defending your rights. A recording of the encounter and, more clearly, saying that the officers do not have permission to be present are very critical if the situation degrades into further conflict. While Aaron managed to keep his cool in this instance, the fact that his legal battle against the city was still in process indicated that there probably were more confrontations in store for him. Finally, the exchange worked as another reminder of how important it is to know and exercise rights, even in the face of opposition. For Aaron, it wasn't just a case of standing up for his land. It was a matter of making sure that, no matter how difficult the situation became, law would be respected. in our next video. A tense standoff ensued between Gem County deputies Brian Pike and Alfredo Villatoro and Ammon Bundy as they sought to serve him with court papers.
Huh? No, he's not. There's the back office right here. There's a back office here. I don't see anybody here. I'm gonna walk around. Mr. Bundy, I have some papers for you. No. I can't see him from that side. I didn't see him. Huh?
The deputies were trying to find Bundy on his property. They walked around his home, even peering in windows in search of him. Of course, they weren't ignored.
He's probably sitting in that corner right there.
Can you not see?
I can't see from the angle there.
Is there? Let's go to the side windows. Because if we see him, we can just show him fingers.
Can you see anything?
I think he went out that door.
To where?
Split. That door right there.
Well, we would have seen him if he went up into his,
He was standing right here.
Look, is that his hat right there? He's got to be behind that thing right there. See the hat right there? Yep. go back and check on the other side.
Hey, man, we have papers for you. We're just gonna put them on the front step, okay?
Already frustrated by what he perceived as continued rights violations, Bundy had stopped the deputies as they continued to search his property and told them sternly that they would do better to leave immediately because they didn't have any right to act like they owned the place. Though the deputies acted quite calm and tried to keep their professionalism, Bundy did not restrain his anger and always reminded them that the land belonged to him and not to the police. Though they briefly acknowledged his demands, Bundy made it clear that he was really serious about his private property. The deputies were there in compliance with the order from the authorities to serve him with legal papers related to a lawsuit. Despite the increased pressure, Bundy insisted on his stand, warning them against coming back and keeping off his property. He had complained to them about their presence and the court wrangle to which he was subjected, while labeling the authorities as law enforcement agents who had overstretched their police powers and served on high horses.
All right, sir.
Bastard, get off my property and don't come back again.
All right.
I'm serious. You don't get to walk around here and act like you own the damn place. I bought the place, not you.
Yes, sir.
Stay the hell off my property.
Will do.
Get the hell off my property. Stay off my property. No, I don't. You're on my property. Get the hell in your truck again. No, get off of my property. Yeah, you guys are a bunch of pricks coming in here.
Okay.
You know what's going on now?
I don't indulge myself in your own paperwork, okay?
Maybe you ought to figure out what's going on.
It's not my business. You have a good rest of your day, okay?
You made it your business.
All right, you have a good rest of your day, all right?
Don't come back.
It highlighted in general an issue of private property rights. One needs to be balanced with the issue of police accountability. Bundy, a man well known for his role in the 2016 Malheur National Wildlife Refuge occupation, had a history of finding himself at the center of legal and political controversies. His current dispute in Gem County, Idaho, demonstrates his deep-seated belief in individual liberties and constitutional rights. Though confrontational, Bundy's confrontation with the deputies brought attention to concerns arising regarding their duty to enter upon private property and thereby serve legal notice without violating rights. As the deputies ultimately retreated, leaving his papers on his doorstep, Bundy continued to uphold his opinion that their actions were an overreach of governmental power. The whole thing immediately sparked debate on how far the police can tread on private property without a warrant or even probable cause. In Bundy's case, he regarded it as directly violative of his rights, a position with which many sympathizers share for their concerns about government overreach and the preservation of constitutional liberties. It was, however, the third element that brought everyone to the bargaining table, that need for dialogue on police accountability. Police brutality incidents in the recent past had made most people keen on transparency and respect for individual liberties. That tussle between public safety and private freedoms remained a stubborn contest. It was exactly the challenge which both Bundy and the deputies were forced to confront and cut loose. As this very legal situation developed, nobody knew how the courts would treat Bundy's claims of government overreach. The case would establish precedent in similar future legal battles in which private rights to property versus police authority will persist in many minds as a question of how such a delicate balance will be struck. Finally, in our today's last encounter, we have this video coming to us from Joseph Martinez.
Badge numbers, please.
We don't have badge numbers.
Okay, I need cards then. It's department policy to identify. Where's Vern?
We've already identified ourselves.
No, you didn't.
Merced County Sheriff's Office, Aguilar.
What do you guys want?
We're here to talk to Rick, and we see that someone's...
You're on private property right now.
On a farm property outside of Merced, California, a tense standoff unfolded after deputies from the Merced County Sheriff's Office, Aguilar, Mobley, and Lemons, reportedly arrived at the private property of man Joseph Martinez to serve for a warrant for a person who is not a resident at the property. It turned into a hot situation when Joseph, a First Amendment auditor, asked them why they were on his private property. Joseph kept asking them their names and badge numbers. The officials only provided them with their names, but declined to give their badge number. This was just firing more fuel in that fire. Joseph told them that departmental policy requires proper identification, and they are trespassing. They refused to leave, stating that they were investigating something on the property.
You guys need something? Oh, I don't answer questions. I'm a First Amendment auditor. You know me. You can stay off the property, though. This is private property. Let's get off the fence a little bit. Yeah, you guys know me. No, you can stay off the property, sir. This is private property. Name and badge number, please. Name and badge number, Mobley. No, my name is Joseph, and I'm not going to identify any further than that. Your name is Mobley. Your name is Aguilar. Your name is T. Lemons? Lemons. Okay, badge numbers, please.
We don't have badge numbers.
Okay, I need cards then. It's department policy to identify. Where's Vern?
We've already identified ourselves.
No, you didn't.
What's the county sheriff's office? Aguilar.
What do you guys want?
We're here to talk to Rick, and we see that somebody's...
You're on private property right now. I don't answer questions. I'm a First Amendment auditor. You guys know I'm not going to answer questions. Okay? The only question I answered was my name to alleviate any belief that I might be the person you're looking for. Further than that, you're trespassing currently on private property. I'm asking you repeatedly to leave, sir.
In this instance, Joseph informed the deputies that he had no responsibility to assist them in their investigation and threatened them further with the fact that his property was becoming too small for them and that their presence on his property would prompt serious legal actions against them. He cautioned them that any infraction from their side would mean stripping him off his qualified immunity. Instead, according to him, any infraction would have him taking action against them not only at the department, but against their individual assets as well. He was well aware of the law and what his rights were. He insists, telling them how they are above the law.
I don't care. That has nothing to do with me. Stop what you're doing, Mobley. Okay? First thing I'm going to do is file a complaint against each of you individuals if you try anything. Next thing I'm going to do is prove that you weren't acting in the legal capacity as an officer, so you don't have a search warrant to be on this property. And that's going to allow me to remove your qualified immunity. The next thing I'm going to do after that is go after each and every one of your private assets. You're not going to violate me. Well, you keep stepping in, and I keep telling you you're on private property, and I keep asking you to back up, okay? I'm not going to go after your departments. I'm going after your private assets when I remove your qualified immunity. You're not going to violate me. All officers have qualified immunity. I'm a First Amendment auditor. That's in Colorado.
SB2.
That's in Colorado. That's in Colorado. Don't play silly duck games on me. That's Colorado.
So who's in the house? Who's staring at us?
I don't answer questions. You know that. I'm telling you to get off my private property.
So, right now, who's in the house?
I don't answer questions. You know that.
Identify we're investigating.
It's irrelevant. I'm not involved with your investigation, and I have no duty whatsoever to serve you in your investigation. I have no duty whatsoever to serve you in your investigation. No, I'm not. Hindering is a physical act. No.
The standoff at this point reached a deadlock when Joseph placed himself between the deputies and his property line, ordering them out. It is in this process that the deputies arrest him and charged him with Penal Code 148A1, obstructing a peace officer. Joseph, however, argued that he had committed no offense and that his arrest was unjust, as he did not in any way hinder their investigation at gunpoint, but merely exercised his right to protect his property from what he held was an unlawful intrusion. The incident raised grave questions about the conduct of the deputies. They neither obtained a search warrant, nor had they confirmed that it was the right address, and many contended that they had exceeded their authority. The question of police overreaching and the extremely delicate balance between law enforcement responsibilities and rights on private property brought to light by Joseph's decision to claim his rights and not to yield. Although Joseph may have believed he made a grave mistake during the transaction, the audience was convinced he did the best anyone could have done under the circumstances, particularly with the added intimidation. He had asserted his constitutional rights amply by demanding they produce identification as deputies, by ordering them off private property, and by refusing to obey their orders. His acts have since opened up a debate on how far a policeman can go without a warrant, and the need to hold those officers accountable if they are found violating citizens' rights. After the incident, Joseph made preparations to file complaints against all deputies who had attended and acted, and was preparing to take legal steps for filing appeals against the arrest. The case reminded all of the often discussed issue of law enforcement accountability and citizen rights to safeguard their properties against unlawful searches or arrests. Given its wide circulation after the event, this video attracted much interest from pro-individual rights advocates and those who hold that law enforcement agencies need more intense scrutiny. Many praised Joseph for his boldness in speaking up on issues affecting thousands of Americans. In a tense standoff, an officer kept telling a man to get out of his car. Visibly agitated, arguing back, he was convinced of having done nothing wrong and that he was simply pulling over to wait for someone. This is when he said he became frustrated at being ordered out of the car when he didn't think he had anything to get out for.
Step out of the car, man.
Man, I'm just literally
Step out of the car.
over, bro. Why am I getting
Step out of the car.
I am not. I haven't done anything wrong.
To step out of the car.
I haven't done anything wrong. I'm not.
Step out of the car. Motor 3, step it up, please. Sir, step out of the car. I'm telling you to step out of the car now. Sir, I am telling you for the last time, step out of the car or I'm going to take you out of the car. Step out of the car.
1101, what's this location?
Sir, step out of the car. 14th Street Southwest, 19th Ave Southwest. Step out of the car, sir. I pulled him over. He's got no license. I told him not to drive. He's driving. Now he won't get out of the car.
Hold on, wait for somebody else.
Yep. Sir, step out of the vehicle.
The officer shouted loudly and sternly, "Get out of the car now!" This was accompanied by repeated requests, "Get out of the car!" and warned the man that he had time, but he refused, insisting that his rights were being violated. His defiance and unwillingness to move merely enhanced the situation's tensions. The officer told the man that he needs to get out of the vehicle, adding that they would have no other way but to drag him out if he did not comply. The man, still arguing his case, alleged to be only waiting for his girlfriend and had not committed any traffic violations. He mentioned being stopped at a stop sign and denied speeding, which he argued was impossible at such a location.
Well, just getting prepared. Sir. Yeah, I see his hands. Sir, step out of the vehicle.
With the information, driver refuses to get out of the car.
Sir, step out of the vehicle now.
I hear the call taker saying comply with the deputy.
Sir, step out of the vehicle.
Motor 1 and Motor 3 traffic stop. He's on 911.
He's on doing his detail.
I want to talk with
Step.
someone.
All right, just step out of the vehicle then. Listen, I'm asking you, step out of the vehicle. I told you not to drive anymore, and you still drive.
I'm waiting for my friend to pick me up.
Step out of the vehicle, sir.
I'm just literally pulling over to
Sir,
the corner.
Step out of the vehicle now.
Bro, I haven't done anything wrong.
Sir, I have asked you seveal times to step out of the
I haven't
vehicle.
done anything wrong, bro. I'm just literally pulling over to a corner to wait for my
No,
girlfriend.
I told you do not drive.
I wasn't in that corner. You told
I
me
told you do not drive, and you have driven several blocks, sir. Step out of the
Bro, I
vehicle.
was in the corner. What
Sir,
you mean?
step out of the vehicle. I'm telling you right now.
I haven't done anything wrong.
I'm going to break the glass. I'm going to get
If
you out
you
of the
break
vehicle.
the glass, y'all gonna pay
I'm
for
telling you right now, step out of the vehicle.
I haven't done anything wrong. What you
Step
mean?
out of the vehicle, sir.
Bro, what? I haven't done anything wrong, bro.
Step out of the vehicle.
In the corner pulling up.
The discussion between the man and the officer grew hotter. He accused the officer of being set up unfairly and furthered this claim by claiming a question as to why these actions were being taken against him. The officer repeated the importance of getting out of the car, stating that refusal to get out would cause other reactions, including possibly shattering the car window to drag him out. He was frustrated about that and still insisted he was being mistreated. This is because, he said, he was on his way to a job interview, and the officer must have had a lousy reason for pulling him over. Giving multiple explanations and protesting, the officer did not waver, instead insisting that the man should get out of the car for the situation not to worsen further. It was apparent that the officer did not want to cause damage or inflict injury. Rather, he was trying to bring out to the man that he needed to make a personal choice, to get out of the car on his own accord or to be dragged out. He would further escalate the charges if the man showed further resistance or caused any more damage to the car. It had come to crisis when the officer threatened him to fall into subjection or else break glass. In his unrelenting refusal, he sent other officers to prepare themselves for the likely use of force. They warned him that he might be restrained and that further escalation of any action or causing damage would lead to a worse consequence.
Unlock the door.
I haven't
step
done
out of the
anything,
vehicle.
bro.
Listen, either you step out, we'll break the wall.
No, I haven't done anything. Why? I would literally, he just pulled me over in the corner. He just pulled me over. I called my girlfriend because my girlfriend, I'm literally going to a job interview right now. And he just pulled me over on a stop sign. He said I was speeding. I know I wasn't speeding because you can't speed on a stop sign. He just pulled me over in the corner. I was like, all right. I was in the, I was in the middle of the road. I just pulled to the corner.
I'm not step out of the
girlfriend, bro.
Listen,
I haven't done anything wrong.
Is your license suspended?
I have.
Hold on. Just say yes or no.
2 minutes ago.
Is your license suspended?
Apparently.
Okay. Does this deputy tell you not to drive?
I wasn't. I was literally in that corner right there.
So how did you get? Here. So how did you get here?
Bro, I was just pulling up.
So did you drive from that point to this point? Is that correct?
Bro, are you serious? I'm not.
You drove. So listen, you either get out of the car or we pull you out. We don't want to damage your car. Nobody wants to get hurt. You either get out or we pull you out. Those are your choices.
But for what?
Those are your choices.
I'm just literally pulling over to play with my girlfriend, bro. I haven't done anything wrong.
All right, we've had enough talk here. Step out of the vehicle.
Why should I turn up like this?
Step out of the vehicle.
Bro, don't you can't do this shit, bro.
As the standoff persisted, additional officers arrived at the scene. They declared it a fair situation by examining the records of the man, including whether his license was valid and if he'd had any previous citations. The officer who initiated the stop explained everything that had happened, including where the stop had been and when, and how well the man had been driving. His continued resistance led to his forcible extraction from the vehicle. Officers told him to calm down and gave him a warning about other charges they might have otherwise filed if he had not calmed down. They told him further disturbances and attempts to damage property would lead to additional legal issues.
If you break my glass, you're gonna have to pay for it. Don't do this shit. I haven't done anything, dog.
Finish the car.
Bro, I haven't done anything to ya.
Unlock it right there.
Bruh, stop. What y'all doing all this shit for?
Stop resisting.
Y'all gonna get
resisting.
Why am I? Bro, I haven't done anything, dog.
Unlock the car.
Why are you doing this shit? Bro, why are you doing this shit, bro?
Cuff.
Why is y'all doing all this, bro? I haven't done anything. Bro, I haven't done anything. Why is y'all doing this? Why is y'all doing this, bro? I haven't done anything.
Stop.
Spread your leg.
If you kick me, you're catching an extra charge.
Bro, I haven't done anything, bro.
Listen, if you kick
I haven't done anything. What doing this shit?
it'll be a felony offense with battery on a wall.
Nah, y'all get it, bro.
Alright, hold on.
Hold on, I just want to lock you.
Bro, I haven't done anything, dog.
You calming down now? Huh? Are you done? Are you done? You understand? Are you done?
You're good with me.
Which side are you on?
Passenger.
Stop moving. Bro, why are y'all doing this shit?
Listen.
I haven't done anything
Listen.
wrong, bro. Hey, just back this up. I was just really going to a interview. Why are y'all doing this to me?
Listen. No, yeah. I got a bunch of stuff in there too.
Stop moving. Why is y'all, bro? I haven't done anything. Why y'all treating me criminal, bro?
Could you keep resisting? Now stop.
Resist. This is nonsense, bro.
Listen. Stand over here. Let's get in the shade so you can calm down.
What's wrong with y'all?
The officers eventually forced him into the back of their patrol car. They then explained that if he continued to thrash about or resisted, they would have to restrain him even more. He was warned finally to calm down in order not to make the situation worse. Once the man was secured in his restraints, officers at the scene focused their attention on the automobile. They started to explore the inside of the vehicle, looking for other items of interest, and began to make arrangements to tow the vehicle if it had to be taken into custody. The initiating officer briefed his supervisors and the other officers present on the man's citations and what unfolded during the stop.
I told you not to drive.
Bro, I wasn't driving. I was pulling up here, bro. Y'all getting.
Can you update this to a DUI, please?
Freaking fucking asshole!
Do not kick him.
Here on this side.
Got him. You got everything out of my back?
Everything?
Yeah, you got him.
Stuff. Yeah,
The cone should probably be all right.
anything else over there?
Listen, I'm putting you in the back of my car. If you're gonna thrash and all that other stuff, we're gonna hog tie you. And I know you don't want to go being all tied up. Okay. So you're gonna be calm or what?
Where?
I'm giving you this option. Are you gonna be calm or what?
You will not kick the door. You will not kick the partition. If you do any damages, that will be another offense.
Do you understand?
Look how y'all got me, bro.
All right, let's go. So we're gonna lift you up. Let's gonna walk.
In the post-incident procedure, officers ensured that all procedures were followed, including documentation of the event and sealing of the vehicle. They arranged towing of the car and made an intensive, thorough check to see whether there were other items or evidence they would use. Throughout the entire process, the officer in charge was professional, despite man's continuous resistance and frustration. The aim was to try to contain the situation as much as possible with patience and control, ensuring law is observed while being fair to the man.
You know who Kelsey pulled up in?
Who this is?
Yeah.
No, he pulled over because I saw him at that stop sign. I stopped him all the way on 17th Ave and 20th Ave, or 17th Lane and 20th Ave. Told him don't drive no more. And then I drove up, I seen him coming by, so that's when I stopped him.
Is this the registered owner?
Yeah, I think it's his parents. Do you want to give me the 2 citations? I'll put that in with this stuff. I don't know, I'd have to look again.
2 citations here. Yep, that's him.
Yeah, that's it.
For the speed and then the unknowingly DWLS, so he has knowledge all day.
Yeah. Yep.
The man's protest and the officer's reaction portrayed the contradictions of police operations, especially with individuals who are not cooperative or appear to be disturbed. The actions of officers were to keep people concerned safe and ensure that the process of law unfolds. The incidents clearly pointed out the need for effective communication as well as legal procedures in handling these types of encounters. The scene continued to deteriorate as the policeman found it hard to control the now vigorously resisting male. Even after he was repeatedly instructed to settle down and cooperate with them, he still tried to evade being caught. The man inside the car began getting very angry and pleaded for an explanation on why he was being treated this way. He stated that he had not done anything wrong and kept on insisting that he needed an explanation. Asking the officers about their actions, he expressed frustration and anger about what was happening to him. He kept telling them that he was waiting and that he hadn't done anything wrong. The officers contested the situation of controlling the man without inflicting on him unnecessary injury and decided to firm up the noose. They readied to hog-tie him, a technique by which people with extreme resistance or aggression were restrained. His hands and feet were tied up in an effort to prevent further movement and thus decrease the possible likelihood of injury both for the man and the officers.
He's gonna kick.
Yep.
All day.
Step out, man. I ain't going anywhere, bro. Lay him down on the ground.
Easy.
All right. Calm down. I told you.
Easy.
I got shackles.
Stop doing this for?
316.
Oh,
That's battery.
That's.
Good job.
You just went up to a felony, man. You just went up to a felony.
I got the spit right on my camera.
Yep.
Yeah, spit all over my
On
shoes.
your pants. Ah. They're getting food.
Okay.
Swear to God, bro. Y'all don't even know who you're dealing with. Where do we need to go? Through his feet there. Ah! You're hurting my hands, bro. Yeah. Yeah, that hurt that.
Stop resisting.
Ah! See what he does there. All right, you gonna calm down now? Huh? Are you gonna calm down?
All right, let's go in the car. Listen, you can hog tie it, leave the feet out, and then put the
let's do
put
that.
it out the door.
Out the door, so they can't reach it.
Yeah. You want I have a 2 sets of shackles.
Will we be able to tie him like this too, with the shackles?
Give me your shackles first, then we'll tie them, then we'll take that off. Stop.
Dude, you're just making it worse for yourself. Down. Calm down. I haven't done anything, bro. Calm down. Beat the shit out of you, bro. Okay. I wasn't in the car. Shoot the shit out of you. Sounds like it. You know you're just catching more charges, right? You understand? Your chargers. We have Tahoes, not Chargers.
You just double walk it real quick.
Yeah. Bro, shit hurting my hands, bro. We're trying to, if you would calm down, we wouldn't have to do any of this. All you have to do is calm down, stop moving around. All you had to do was not drive. That's all you had to do, was not drive.
We're gonna give you instructions. You're gonna roll to your which side?
I wasn't driving. What's wrong with y'all?
Come on, you're gonna be picked up, come back in the car.
You ready?
Whenever you guys are ready. Yeah.
All right. Zach, can you grab him? Oh, there you go. Huh?
Should work.
Things only got weirder with the man. He started banging his head on the floor and attempting to struggle back against the officers who were trying to hold him. Several measures were taken by the officers to restrain him tightly, including shackling him and adapting their method. His acts made him face some more charges from that time onward, resisting arrest and even damage to police equipment. The defiant man spat at the officers, and still, he resisted their commands. The officers were frustrated at that and attempted to compose him. However, he listened not. He still remarked that his resistance was making the situation worse, adding that he is sure things would not have been all this tense if he had, from the beginning, obeyed them.
Yeah.
You gotta spit that.
Okay. You're just making it hard on yourself, man.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, he's gonna untie that damn hobble again.
Roll down that back window. Yeah.
Bro! Don't spit on people.
I don't know if he can get if he's getting the damn,
Either that or we can put it out the door.
Yeah.
Something just to keep it tight.
What? Ah! Why are you screaming? My hand! Stop!
no, he's not getting that part, he's getting the clip.
Oh, the clip?
Let go of the pressure.
I'm not talking to you, shut up! Ah! My hand! It's pulling me straight now. Is that better? Are you gonna stop fighting? Oh, my hand hurts. Okay, are you gonna stop fighting? Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me?
They made sure to write all of this down and that everything was right. On their reports, they noted the man had put up a fight and that these charges now escalated into resisting arrest and attacking an officer. Officers tried not to give in to their emotions under the trying conditions. Before they could transport the man, they did more adjustments to ensure that he would be safe and comfortable. Such adjustment included putting him in a state to make sure he would not get further injuries. The man was put in the back of the patrol vehicle, and officers made sure the restraints were placed correctly to avoid making him move too much or causing further damage.
I don't speak none of y'all. Want me to help you, but you don't want me to watch it up on my hand, bro. What am I doing this for? It's because you were spitting. Stop. Stop.
I know.
No. Stop. Oh! Bro, if you try and take that cuff off again, you're going to have a bad problem. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Do you want him in the hobble?
He's gonna damn throw him.
Break my hip.
What about seatbelt?
We can try to seatbelt him.
So these cuffs are good, man. I've checked them. I can get 2 fingers through both sides. The reason they are hurting is because of what you are doing.
The outside of this door and the inside of the front passenger door. That way it doesn't go out.
All right, so how did you wrap
You
his feet?
guys search him. He keeps trying to reach for something.
Yeah, he's
I
reaching.
got nothing, dumbass.
He's been reaching for the hobble. He's been reaching for everything. But yeah, no, we already searched him. We checked him. He's got nothing.
What about seat? What if we put the seatbelt on?
If we sit you up, are you gonna stop banging your head?
What, as tight as possible?
Anthony.
Yo, I can't breathe, bro. He hands up on me, bro.
Listen, if we sit you upright and put the seatbelt on, you're gonna stop banging your head.
I haven't banged my head anywhere, dog.
Okay.
Yeah, because we could do it in ours.
Yeah. All right, let's
try that.
Here. Let's sit him up.
Is he on something?
No, he's mad because I pulled him over on 17th and I gave him a ticket for DWLS. I told him, do not drive, do not go anywhere.
I didn't drive, bro. You literally saw me
And then
pulling
I
up from
pulled
the
I see
corner.
him all the way up here, driving again. So I pulled him over. So he's mad that I did that to him.
Okay.
So, hey, listen, sit up here. We're going to put the seatbelt on you so you can relax.
Sit back. Sit back. Stop! You dirty ass nigga from me, bro.
Yo, what the f*** are you doing this
Keep
for,
his
bro?
legs down. Keep his legs
They
down.
haven't done anything. What the f*** y'all doing this for?
Criminal, bro. Y'all doing this
Nobody
shit
said you
for?
were a criminal, man.
Then why are you doing this shit? Anything.
You don't listen. You don't pay attention. Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
The officers kept communicating with each other so that their actions would be coordinated for the proper handling of the situation. They discussed the incident's details, from the initial traffic stop to what the man would do next, the decisions made during the arrest, and completion of all the paperwork and citations issued for work. Throughout the process, they de-escalated and focused on keeping him safe. They were doing their best to address his needs and frustrations and ensure that he was restrained and taken out without any further incident. The incident was closely watched so that the situation was not worsened. As the officers were exiting the location, they arranged to tow the vehicle and continued to complete the incident report. They also called other units to ensure that the man's behavior was reported appropriately and any other charges captured.
Something happens, let them know that he's super combative and they're probably going to need the chair.
Sure.
Let him know. Just let him know all that.
Absolutely.
So what happened?
So I got him speed at 50.
When was this?
About an hour ago.
Okay.
So he was going northbound on 20th Ave Southwest.
Yep.
Passed by me at 45 and a 35.
Okay.
Climbed all the way up to 53. I pulled him over. We stopped at 17th Lane and 20th Ave Southwest.
This is an hour ago.
Roughly 30 minutes.
Right.
I pull him over. I get his license. He tells me he left his license at home.
Okay.
So I get his name. I run him. His license is suspended since last year. So I give him a citation for no DWLS and a citation for speeding. I said, do not drive, call somebody, do not drive, or else you are subject to be arrested. So I leave, I pull up here, because he had an attitude like that. I pull up here, I see the car drive by, I come this way, he's getting ready to drive some more.
But he was in the driver's seat.
He was in the driver's seat, and then he pulled right up in here. I got out, and then...
Does he live at any of these places?
No, he was going
so
to...
we're towing the car and everything?
We're towing the car. He was headed to a job interview, and that's why he's so mad at me.
Oh, okay.
So, he wouldn't get out of the car. I told him I break the window. He said, you break the window, I'm going to sue you.
Sure.
I didn't know. I thought he was calling his mom. No. Rolled down the window enough so that we grabbed him, opened the door, pulled him out.
Okay.
And then he's just been like this the whole time.
And somebody said you guys got spit on and stuff?
Yeah, Lewis got spit on while we had him down on the ground because I was trying to leave and he's banging his head against the partition.
I heard that.
We get out, we get him on the ground trying to hobble him, and then he spits on Lewis on his pants,
So
on
we're
his
charging
neck.
him with
We're
that?
charging him with that. And then he just was combative the whole entire time.
So we got resisting the driving,
and then
battery LEO.
Battery LEO.
Cool. All right.
All right.
Who's following you?
Zach's gonna follow me.
Somebody's following you?
Yes,
And
sir.
just let them know.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell them over the radio.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it.
The incident demonstrated the challenges that law enforcers face when dealing with refractive or combative subjects. The professionalism and attentiveness of the officers in managing the situation during procedures were well portrayed. However, the man remained resisting and aggressively responding to the officers, and they involved themselves in ensuring that the whole situation was safely resolved and effectively handled. Further coordination among the officers was involved by taking the required steps and dealing with the man's behavior in an appropriate manner following the incident. The situation was documented and communicated clearly to explain the events that occurred and the actions taken by the officers. The officers tried to keep the law enforcement in check while keeping the loss to all sides as minimum as possible. Resistance and defiant behavior by the man do not stop, which leads to more charges and complications. However, the officers did everything they could to stay patient and professional in their situation. Overall, the incident reflected the nuances of police contacts. The individual was not willing to cooperate and also seemed disturbed about certain matters. This brought out the commitment that these officers had toward upholding the law, keeping each party safe, and making sure justice served its course. Professionalism and respect for the rule of law in meeting the challenges faced during the incident are proof that well-defined communication and operations management in a police operation are truly essential. On May 25, 2021, Mounds View Dispatch received a call notifying police about a driver behaving erratically.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
We are on, what road is this? County Road 10, Mounds View Boulevard. There's a guy, driving all over the road, gets a cracked windshield. He's going over the corner into the Holy
Okay, which direction are you traveling?
Oh my God, I can't, no. No, I can't, he's coming back over here. He's running. Yeah, he's running.
Like on foot?
Yeah, he's running on foot. Where's his vehicle? So he literally almost hit us head on inside my neighborhood, and then he ended up on Mountain View Boulevard right behind us again. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Well, I don't know if he hit anybody, but all I know is that when he drove past us, his car wasn't damaged.
The caller initially provided the police with the license plate number and description of the vehicle involved. However, shortly after, 911 received another distressing call that confirmed their worst fears. A woman had been struck by a car. The caller urgently reported, "A woman has been hit by a car. She's in the road, and the car has fled the scene." When officers arrived at the scene of the hit and run, they were unprepared for the horrific sight that awaited them. One officer, visibly shaken, described the severity of the woman's injuries, saying, "Her throat is completely gone, torn apart." Witnesses at the scene tried to assist, and one of them provided additional details about the fleeing vehicle. They described it as a blue SUV with a smashed windshield, noting that it had sped off quickly, heading southbound.
Dispatch's worst fears.
A woman has been hit by a car. She's in the road. The car has left the scene. Is she injured? Oh yes, extremely. She is not moving.
The officers on the scene of the hit and run were completely unprepared for the horrifying sight they were about to witness. Arriving at the scene, they discovered a victim whose throat had been severely damaged, almost completely torn apart. The injury was so shocking that one of the officers initially thought the victim was a doll, a testament to the gruesome nature of the scene. This was no ordinary accident. It was a chilling tragedy that left everyone involved reeling. Emergency calls had started pouring into dispatch around the same time. Several witnesses were quick to provide key details about the vehicle involved in the hit and run. The suspect's vehicle was identified as a blue SUV with a heavily smashed windshield in front of the driver. The vehicle had been heading south at high speed after the incident, showing no signs of slowing down or stopping. Despite the clear damage to the vehicle, the driver showed no concern for the victim left behind. Dispatch alerted multiple agencies to be on the lookout, and soon a full-scale search was underway. Among the witnesses was a woman who had been driving in the opposite direction of the blue SUV at the time of the accident. She explained to the officers how the SUV had passed another car recklessly in a no-passing zone before hitting the victim. The victim had been raking leaves on the side of the road, near the boulevard between the sidewalk and the street, when the SUV suddenly swerved around the witness's car and struck the unsuspecting woman. The driver continued speeding south, not even pausing to check the damage or see if the victim was alive. This reckless disregard for life shocked the witness, who turned her vehicle around as soon as she could to return to the scene. Another witness, clearly shaken by the incident, also confirmed the description of the vehicle. She had been driving northbound when she noticed the blue SUV driving erratically. The smashed windshield had caught her attention, but it wasn't until later that she realized the gravity of the situation. By the time she turned around, the victim was already lying lifeless on the ground, and the driver was long gone. Unfortunately, in the chaos, neither witness was able to catch the license plate number, but they provided everything else they could remember to the officers. As the investigation unfolded, one of the officers took time to comfort the shaken witnesses, acknowledging how difficult it was for them to see such a horrifying accident up close. The officer, understanding their shock, expressed appreciation for their cooperation despite the traumatic circumstances. He reassured them that their efforts had already made a significant impact by helping to narrow down the search for the suspect. He even offered a hug to one of the witnesses, a simple act of humanity in a deeply distressing situation. The officers on the scene worked to gather as much information as possible. They noted that the driver had passed through a no-passing zone, an area where there was a clear indication not to overtake other vehicles. This reckless behavior made the tragedy even more senseless. Investigators surmised that the driver may have seen the victim too late, but instead of stopping to render aid, he had chosen to flee the scene. This not only added to the gravity of the crime, but also showed a total lack of remorse or responsibility on the driver's part. Despite the shock and horror of the situation, law enforcement was determined to bring the suspect to justice. Every local agency in the area was notified to be on the lookout for the blue SUV. The smashed windshield was a critical clue, making it harder for the driver to hide. Officers praised the quick thinking and courage of the witnesses, whose testimonies were crucial to launching the investigation. The search was in full swing, and although the road ahead was long, the dedication of both the officers and the community brought hope that justice would soon be served. By the end of the encounter, the officers reassured the witnesses that they would be kept updated on the progress of the case. It was a somber moment, but their efforts were appreciated. In a situation filled with loss and pain, the collaboration between everyday citizens and law enforcement stood as a testament to the power of community action in the face of tragedy. Thanks to the swift actions of ordinary citizens, police were able to locate the driver just a few blocks away from the hit-and-run scene. The driver was easy to identify, as he had crashed through a sign, veered off the road, and hit a median with such force that his airbags deployed, and his right wheel appeared to have disconnected from the axle. Miraculously, the suspect escaped without any injuries. Police were then able to piece together what had led to the tragic death of an elderly woman who had simply been in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Whose car is this black car here? What's her name? No, stay here. You can lean on that bumper there. So why did you hit that sign? You said you hit that sign?
I don't know. Yes, we're having a abandoned vehicle.
I'm not exactly sure if the sign did. It's like it's the sign over there where I was avoiding something. Okay. So after you hit the sign, you drove and you parked here? Okay. Were you alone in the car? Yes, sir. No one else was with you? Okay. Did you have your seatbelt on? Okay. That's good. And you're not hurt. You had no alcohol today. How about any pills or drugs or anything? Take a look in there, boss. Okay. So why do you think this happened? I'm not. Okay. So you've had no alcohol. When was the last time you drank some alcohol? A day, a week, an hour? How long since you had some alcohol? Probably yesterday or the day before. Yesterday? Yesterday or the day before. Or the day before? Alright. You know what day it is? It's what? Tuesday. Tuesday. Okay. Do you know what month it is? Yeah. May? Do you know where you're at? What road is this? 10? Okay, County Road 10. Then where are you trying to get to? This is my house. Your house is over this way? What's your address? Just give me the address. You don't have to tell me where it's by. What's the address? What's the mailing address? Mailing address is what? Right.
The suspect seemed unable to provide his address in any coherent way at the scene. However, after being arrested, taken to jail, and given time to sober up, he was finally able to contact his wife and deliver the shocking news.
Hey, I'm so sorry, Boo. I'm in jail.
No. I'm trying to get you out.
Look, this is what you gotta do. You gotta go to,
I'm going to I'm talking to them now.
Okay, I need $25,000, right? And get the $2,000 out of the bank. The $2,500 out of the bank and get the rest from the bail bond, and then I can come home.
Well, I'm working on that now.
I'm so sorry I did that. I am so sorry. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You know where I'm at?
You at the Ramsey County Jail.
Ramsey, is this the Ramsey County Jail? Yeah, okay. The car's all messed up, man.
The car is total.
Alright. I'll make all this up to you, okay? I tried to call you before, but I couldn't get through to you. Yeah, I was drunk.
I heard that you was on.
Huh?
It came with cocaine.
It's cocaine. They said it was cocaine.
The suspect did not test positive for cocaine, and although a small unopened bottle of liquor was found in his car's passenger seat, there was no alcohol in his system. However, after securing a search warrant to test his blood, investigators discovered a mix of depressants, sleep aids, and opiates in his body, including fentanyl. Additionally, a small bag containing white powder was found in his vehicle, which tested positive for heroin and fentanyl. During questioning, the suspect admitted, "I killed somebody. I didn't even know I had done that. I hit a stop sign, and that's when I came to and realized I had messed up. I don't even know what happened."
No, cocaine would not make you do that. And do you not know that I killed somebody?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I killed somebody. This lady. I didn't even know I had even done that. And then I hit a stop sign, and that's when I came to and noted that the car, I had messed up. I don't even know what happened. Then it wasn't. The cocaine don't do you like that.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, it don't do you like that. If anything, it'll have you wide awoke. Okay, all right.
I can't think. I ain't been sleeping. I can't eat.
I'm so sorry, baby. I did this to you. I will make it up to you. I promise.
The police investigation revealed just how fast and dangerously the suspect had been driving. The victim's shoes were left behind at the scene, indicating the force of the impact. The significant damage to the windshield and the blood found on it, which matched the victim, further demonstrated the high speed at which the car struck her in the residential neighborhood. As the investigation progressed, the suspect was charged with third-degree murder, criminal vehicular homicide, and felony possession of a controlled substance. Despite multiple plea deals being offered, he refused them, opting instead for a bench trial, where the judge alone would decide his fate. He was ultimately found guilty on all charges and sentenced to 12 years at St. Cloud Correctional Facility. Of that sentence, he is expected to serve just over 8 years in prison, with the remainder on supervised release. Next we have one of the most tragic types of cases involves a DUI crash that results in the deaths of innocent civilians. Such was the case on November 2, 2021, when police arrived at the scene of a high-speed DUI crash that had turned fatal. As officers approached the scene, they quickly realized the gravity of the situation. "Hey, we got medical coming up," one officer called out, assessing the chaotic aftermath. The crash site was devastating, with the vehicle on fire and debris scattered across the intersection.
49 arriving. We gotta block this intersection. Anyone inside the vehicle?
Oh no, I don't.
Control 449. The vehicle's completely on fire. We cannot tell it.
As the situation unfolded, it became clear that the suspect was none other than Las Vegas Raiders football player Henry Ruggs. His Corvette was found on the curb, mangled and completely destroyed. But the most heartbreaking discovery was just a few feet away: the victims of this horrific accident. When officers inquired about the occupants of the other vehicle, someone on the scene replied, "I know somebody's in there."
Hey, who was in this vehicle?
I know somebody probably in there, but this is Henry Ruggs right here. This is Henry Ruggs right here.
The victims were 23-year-old Tina Tintor and her golden retriever, Max. They had been driving home slowly from the park when tragedy struck. Henry Ruggs, speeding at an unimaginable 156 miles per hour, slammed into Tina's vehicle, turning what should have been an ordinary night into a nightmare. The wreckage left behind told the story of reckless and fatal behavior that cost 2 innocent lives.
Per hour. So it seems like it happens like out there, man.
The skid marks?
Yeah, the skid marks and the debris.
Yeah.
Like it happened out there, and then.
I mean, you think they dragged it?
Huh?
You think it happened over there and they dragged it all the way over there?
Yeah. Well, maybe when they got hit, you lose control. You know, you get knocked out, and then the car keeps right.
The security outside, he said he saw it. He saw the Corvette like speeding, and then he hears a loud bang, and then he comes over here, and it seems like apparently, I think he said 2 people in the car. He tried getting them out, but all of a sudden.
Not only was Henry Ruggs driving at an alarming speed, but his blood alcohol level was also twice the legal limit in Nevada. Initially, he refused to take a field sobriety test, but once his blood was tested at the hospital, it revealed a blood alcohol content of 0.16%, well above the legal limit. Adding to the danger, he wasn't alone in the car. His fiancée, Kiara Janai Kilo Washington, was with him. Fortunately, she only suffered a wrist injury in the crash. Ruggs, however, hadn't even been wearing his seatbelt. When officers arrived, they found him hanging halfway out of the driver's side of the Corvette, with his feet still on the car's floor and his body sprawled out on the road. Despite the wreckage, both Ruggs and his fiancée were sitting on the curb waiting for medical assistance when help arrived. Ruggs and Washington escaped without serious injuries. The same couldn't be said for the victims in the other vehicle. Tragically, Tina Tintor and her dog Max didn't survive. Tina was trapped in her car's driver's seat after the collision, and the vehicle caught fire, leaving her with no chance of escape. Both she and her beloved dog perished in the flames, marking a heartbreaking end to what began as an innocent drive home.
Hey, if somebody inside that vehicle, do you know what?
Get help! Please, can we get help?
Is there nobody in the car? He told me it's going to be one person and a dog.
A dog?
Yeah. Okay. The dog is going to be in the rear and the person is going to be in the front. If we would have been here maybe a couple minutes earlier, we would have been able to get him out. No, it will be.
Many people rushed to help when they heard the crash that took Tina Tintor's life. Witnesses and bystanders desperately tried to assist, but the situation quickly escalated. Alexander Hart, a nearby security guard, recalled hearing screams coming from inside Tina's car after it had caught fire. Several witnesses attempted to pull her out, but the growing smoke and flames made it impossible. As the reality of the situation sank in, Henry Ruggs was devastated by what he had done. Overcome with guilt, he later expressed remorse, saying, "I sincerely apologize for the pain and suffering my actions the morning of November 2nd, 2021 have caused you, your family, and those who knew and loved Miss Tina." Ruggs faced the consequences of his actions by pleading guilty. He was charged with DUI causing death and a misdemeanor count of vehicular manslaughter, with a potential prison sentence of 3 to 10 years. In contrast, not all suspects show the same level of remorse. Another incident unfolded when officers from the local police department responded to a hit-and-run on Pearl Road. In this case, the victim had been driving along when another car struck them from behind, forcing their vehicle onto the sidewalk. However, unlike Ruggs, the suspects had already fled the scene before officers arrived.
Walk. Unfortunately, the suspects were long gone.
Is this her car that came up on the curb, or?
It was a getaway car. He took off.
Because she just got pushed here.
Alright, so the car came up and then just took
Yeah,
off
she
this
said
way?
she thought they were going to stop and then they took off.
Okay. Oh, okay. Are you alright? Do you want to film this and send it to Chuck down? Looks like are you cold or are you just holding your arm for it hurts? Okay. How old are you? 21? Okay. Does your neck or back hurt?
I just feel like shaking.
Yeah. Have you ever been involved in an accident before? Have you ever heard of an adrenaline rush? You feel your heart rapidly pumping?
I feel weird and stuff.
Okay.
My body feels like...
Were you wearing your seatbelt? Okay. Were you traveling that way towards West 138th? Okay.
Alright.
And I had like the witness, like their name and number, and they saw the book. Me.
Okay.
And I have a picture of the license plate number in the car.
Alright, do you remember what kind of car? Remember what kind of car it looked like?
It was a Mazda, like
The suspects involved didn't manage to escape far as their vehicle broke down near a T-Mobile store. The driver and her companion fled on foot towards a speedway on West 130th Street. The police apprehended both individuals shortly afterward. When officers arrived and began questioning the male suspect, he was visibly defensive and confused. Despite repeated instructions to show his hands, he continued to insist that he wasn't the driver. His attempts to explain his innocence only led to more tension as the officers proceeded to detain him.
Hey, you two. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. What do you got there?
This is a phone, bro.
Yeah, what type is it?
And that is a key, bro. I ain't did nothing wrong. What did you put your hands on me for? Why do you be doing that? This is how you do that, bro. You can't do that, bro. Okay. You can't do that, bro.
Who's dressed?
No, but
I'm detaining you. You're not dressed. Okay. You're not under arrest. I'm just detaining you. Hang tight, bro.
Why the fuck is this so comfortable with me then?
Because I don't like when you pull away.
I ain't never pulled away.
You already ran the scene from an accident. You are sitting right over there.
I'm right here.
You already ran the scene.
From what accident?
We didn't run a scene.
Just
I did not bring no fucking scene, dude.
We didn't run a scene.
Well, why aren't you with the car?
Nobody came.
We're calling. We're calling.
Nobody came.
We're calling.
You have anything on you? Good?
Nothing, bro. We're calling.
You want it?
Nothing, bro.
That's. I don't believe it. Okay, cool. Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat.
The situation grew more intense when the suspect, agitated, denied resisting arrest. He argued that he had not fled the scene and questioned why he was being detained. The officers, however, made it clear that his vehicle had been left at the scene of the accident, and they were not convinced by his claims of innocence. During the investigation, the police searched the suspect but found no illegal items on him. He continued to protest his innocence, while the woman who had been with him was questioned separately. She appeared distressed and confused, particularly after bleeding from her nose. She admitted that no one had stopped to help after the accident, but her explanations seemed inconsistent. The officers soon realized that the woman had been driving the vehicle. When they discovered the car keys with her and saw marijuana in their possession, the situation became more complicated. The woman's admission that they had been hit and then fled the scene added further details to the investigation, highlighting their attempts to evade responsibility.
Very good. What did I do? Well, you were in that vehicle. Why are you bleeding from the nose?
I did not. Nobody pulled over. Nobody came.
So you don't walk away.
What's your name?
They've got the keys right there.
Oh, that's stupid. You're owning the vehicle.
Oh, you see, that's just dumb. Open your hands for me, please.
What's that? Somebody hit us, bro. Oh, and then you guys left?
Yeah.
No, we did right here. All right, I'm gonna listen right here. Okay. Yeah, you guys are dumb.
Yeah, that's his weed. What do you have on you, man?
I don't have anything.
You don't have anything?
No.
You want to step up to the hood of my car?
Well, this site, bro.
Oh, for sure. Who was driving? You were driving?
Yeah.
Why does he have the key? Why does he have the key, though?
I don't know.
Oh, the seat was all the way up?
Yeah.
So he was driving?
No, he was not driving.
Oh, she was driving? Why are you bleeding from the nose? Are you okay?
I'm not bleeding from my nose. What the?
You've got, there's blood all over.
Hey, listen to us. We can see your nose. You're bleeding from the nose.
Okay.
Let me see your eyes. What drugs have you snorted?
Marijuana.
You snort marijuana?
No, I didn't smoke marijuana, but I
snort
marijuana.
You got an open bottle of Patron anyways.
Yeah. That,
all right.
Yeah.
And is that hers? Or was that
what this was in the bag.
That's mine.
Yeah. You get cited, you go to jail.
Both individuals were found to be under the influence of drugs and alcohol. During the investigation, one officer relayed that the suspect had admitted to drinking 2 shots at a bar, specifically mentioning the winking lizard. The suspect said this had occurred within the past hour and was the only alcohol consumed that day. Given the cold weather conditions, the officers decided to transport the suspects to the station for sobriety testing, despite anticipating the likely results. At the station, the officer explained the situation to the suspect emphasizing that the tests were necessary due to the admitted alcohol intake and the recent car accident. The officer instructed the suspect to stand still with their hands at their sides and to keep their head straight while following a finger with their eyes. The suspect was reminded to focus solely on the finger and not to move their head. Despite the clear instructions, the suspect struggled with the task, though they confirmed they could see the officer's finger.
We're running you through some tests because you did verbally admit to some alcohol intake, and then you got in a car accident, okay? So what I want you to do is stand with your... No, you can stay right there. I'll move to you. Stand like that. Keep your hands on your sides. Keep your head straight. Don't move your head side to side. Just follow my finger with your eyes, okay? You understand? Okay. Nope. You have to keep your head still. Just follow with your eyes. You have to follow my hand with your eyes. Can you see my finger?
I can see your finger.
So the next two exercises, they're going to be balancing. Again, you said no problems with balancing? Well, you said you had no issues, no hip, back, knees.
So, but...
Okay, so I want you to keep standing like you are.
Okay.
We're going to follow down this line, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to plant your left foot down, right foot in front of the other. Left foot down, right foot. Nope, no, hold. Don't start.
Okay. Oh, God.
You don't want to do this test?
I'm just like...
You cannot use the law.
The man who was in the car with Krista Jackson was not charged, but Jackson faced multiple charges. These included having an open container, possessing multiple driver's licenses, weaving between lanes, driving on sidewalks and curbs, driving under the influence, DUI, and leaving the scene of the accident. As we conclude today's cases, it's evident that impaired driving and reckless behavior can lead to devastating consequences, not only for the individuals involved, but also for innocent victims whose lives can be tragically altered or cut short. The stories we've explored today highlight the critical importance of responsible driving and the severe repercussions that can follow when those responsibilities are ignored. The first case underscores the devastating impact of erratic driving and the role of citizen intervention in seeking justice. Despite the swift actions of witnesses and police, the loss remains profound, serving as a stark reminder of the need for vigilance on the roads. In the case of Henry Ruggs, we see the tragic outcome of high-speed driving under the influence. The severe consequences of his actions resulted in the heartbreaking loss of Tina Tintor and her dog, a reminder of the irreversible damage that can occur when safety is disregarded. Lastly, the hit and run on Pearl Road reveals the challenges law enforcement faces in uncovering the truth behind such incidents. Despite attempts to evade responsibility, the investigation brought to light the extent of the suspects' recklessness and their attempts to avoid accountability. All three of these cases serve as stark reminders of the importance of accountability and responsibility on the road. Whether it's a moment of distraction, impaired driving, or deliberate recklessness, the consequences are often irreversible. Innocent lives are forever altered, and the ripple effect of such incidents extends beyond those directly involved. These stories emphasize that every driver has a responsibility to make safe and conscientious choices behind the wheel. Without such caution, the potential for tragedy looms, making it essential for all drivers to uphold their duty to protect both themselves and others on the road. One day at a local McDonald's, a customer made such a ruckus. A man by the name of Tracy was dining there when this white Jeep driving woman began harassing him. Tracy called the police to report the commotion. In his version of the story, she had already been a nuisance inside the McDonald's, and matters worsened when she photographed his car's license plate number. Tracy returned the favor.
You there? Yeah, you said 298 South Hamilton. What's going on there? The McDonald's. There is a lady here who is in a white Jeep who has been harassing me, came into McDonald's, harassed me there. The manager would refuse to serve her. She acted like an asshole, called him a and everything else. Was there something else? Was there something else? No. Other than I tried to back up, pull in, and she had her stuff. And now she just took a picture of my plate, so I'm doing the same thing for her. Okay, and come on over. What's your name? My name's Tracy. Yeah.
Let them know what you said about
That's fine. You go ahead. Okay, Tracy, if you could just not engage with her, please. That's okay, because the manager's up here, sweetie. She's sitting here flipping me off and everything. So, all right, now I'm in my car. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Bye.
When asked by the police to provide an explanation, Tracy said the woman went into McDonald's, where her manager refused to serve her. Her behavior was so aggressive that he decided to stop even treating her. He wasn't too interactive with her as the police had requested him not to be. However, he added that even the manager had come out and he flipped him off at one time. At the same time, the McDonald's manager also called the police. In this witness account, he described the woman as 5'8" to 8" to 5'9" 9" tall, with brown hair, slender build, causing trouble with Tracy and other customers by verbally assaulting folks, refusing to leave when people asked her to, and seemed particularly upset when she was told she was not going to be served. The manager seemed to portray that authority rather sternly when he said, "I am in charge, and as such, I can make that call." Only managed to feed more of her anger.
Hannah, please.
Okay, so I'm just calling because I'm the store manager of the McDonald's, and I need someone removed from my
Okay, is she still inside?
So she's outside. She's been harassing one of my other customers, but I asked her to leave, and she hasn't, and just being a problem.
What does she look like?
Probably about 5'8", 5'9", brown hair, skinny build. Yeah, she's back inside now.
Okay, any weapons or anything like that?
Not that I know of, but I told her I was refusing to serve her, so then she started verbally assaulting me, and she was disrupting my customers. She's just being a disturbance, so I'd ask if someone could get her to leave. But she thinks that calling me a hurts my feelings, but it doesn't. That's a fine. And I told her that I'm refusing to serve her because I'm the store manager and I have that authority, and now that she sees I'm on the phone with someone, she's outside. But she was in this other customer's face, calling her threatening to punch her and beat her up and recording her all in her car and everything. She's just being a disturbance. And she's driving a white Jeep Renegade. Yeah, once she heard me describing her, she's in her car leaving now.
If she comes back, give us a call immediately, okay?
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
She became very extreme to the point where she threatened to hit another customer. She videotaped the other customer on her phone without her consent and left when she found out the manager was speaking to the police. The police told the manager to call back if she ever returned. The overall tension dissipated, however, even after this woman departed. Tracy spoke with the officers still at the scene. Tracy described what he had just gone through. He had only just arrived at the parking lot when she started harassing him, honking the horn at him and yelling at him. He attempted to just ignore her, but she followed him inside and still caused problems. Even after the manager stepped in and told her that she could no longer be served, she walked back out of the store to continue harassing him. It is then that Tracy had him call the police.
Are you the caller or?
I'm the caller.
All right. You work here or?
No, I came to get food.
Oh, okay.
She was parked here. I parked over here. She backed up, so I get out of my car. Then she honked at me and then started calling me names and all kinds of other stuff.
Okay.
So we had a little altercation with names.
Sure.
I go in there. I go to the bathroom. I start coming out the bathroom. She's standing right there in the doorway.
Yeah.
So I go to order my food, bypass her. She's running her mouth. She calls the guy in there everything else, and he's the manager. And he refused to serve her, and then she came out here and harassed me.
Okay.
And that's why I called you all.
Yeah, no problem.
And I got her plate.
Okay. Is there anything like criminal about it other than you guys exchanging words? Like.
Well, one, something needs to be done with her. Accountability. That's wrong with people today.
Well, I know, but what's the account? I'm asking you, like, what's the
harassment? If I would have let her in my car, she would have punched me.
Well, I know,
okay,
but that's not you can call people names and stuff.
That doesn't give them the point to come in here, videotape me, harass me,
you have no
all that stuff.
expectation of privacy in public, so you're allowed to videotape people.
Never mind. Y'all are
all right.
Have a great day. I'll make sure I do that call. Get in going yet.
Morning. What's going on over at McDonald's with you earlier? You got in an argument with some lady?
Who are you?
I'm Officer Golden Lakia, please.
What's your badge number?
56.
Great. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I don't know.
You got in an argument. You're okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I was
right.
gonna get a coffee and I don't know. I just didn't get one. So.
Okay, it didn't go the way you were hoping.
No.
All right. Well, the manager talked to us and he said he doesn't want you back over there, so you're trespassing from McDonald's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You understand?
I understand.
Okay. Do you have any questions about anything?
No, I'm gonna need a copy though.
Okay. You can get a copy of the report when it's done.
Through
through public records request.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Have a good day. You could just add in that call with the report that she has been in person notified now that she's trespassed from McDonald's.
Although Tracy wouldn't engage in a physical fight with her, he did express his frustration. I guess it is true that nowadays nobody is held accountable for their actions. Tracy believed if she had the opportunity, she would have slapped him. Tracy did not physically interact with her, but felt that something ought to be done about what she did. The police told him that unless the verbal exchange involved specific threats of violence, it is most often not a crime. They explained to Tracy that anyone is permitted to record someone in public. There is no reasonable expectation of privacy in a public setting. The policeman called Tracy and promised to investigate the case, as if granting him permission to forget the case, and left. Tracy was frustrated by the response but bailed out, hence putting a stop to further involvement with the case. Meanwhile, as the woman drove off, the officers kept an eye on her in case she turns back, because trespassing is a noticeable offense. They noted her white Jeep Renegade and added that the woman has been trespassed from McDonald's. So if she indeed returns to the site, she would be prosecuted based on trespassing notice. Tracy expressed her fears about the issue, but nothing was done in respect to arresting or detaining the suspects on the spot. A fracas at McDonald's, which in itself was not so monumental an incident, reached the public eye and proved that the sentiments people are inculcating themselves towards public nuisance and individual accountability are increasing with each passing day. For Tracy, it was more than a verbal jousting in a restaurant. It was proof of how, in the public domain, unhandled behavior may have ruffled her petticoats. The manager refused to serve the woman, and Tracy thought about calling the police. But in fact, both of these steps did little more than keep things from getting out of hand, because public decorum, for example, and personal responsibility were not yet settled. She was letting the argument drop, it seemed, leaving it in the dust. It would not be the last word she would have with the police on the matter of that, however. A few days later, there would be another public disturbance, putting her back on the police's radar. 2 days later, the same woman was involved in another public disturbance at Starbucks, again a local outlet. Again, the police are summoned when she began harassing people inside the store and the staff. The call from Starbucks was like the one from McDonald's. The consumer told that she was being threatened by the woman because she started video recording everybody without any permission. On this, the caller said that the woman had entered the store and started acting aggressively to the caller right after entering. She was loud, disruptive, and made offensive comments. The woman rode in the same white Jeep seen at McDonald's. However, things just got worse when the caller tried to brush it off and move on. What escalated was that the woman started making fun of the caller and even exaggerated facial expressions, calling her names such as the crybaby. The caller said that she really felt threatened by the behavior of the woman even after employees of Starbucks had her leave.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
I am at the Starbucks. Someone is recording me without my permission and being obnoxious to me and the staff, and I feel threatened by her. Yes, she's threatening the staff and other customers and recording us all without our permission. She's riding in a white Jeep. She has her coffee and she won't leave. She was aggressive to me the second that I walked in the door.
Where is she
She's now doing crybaby eyes at me, saying that I'm a baby because I'm calling the police.
Okay. Has she threatened anyone?
She won't walk away and leave me alone. She's cussing at me, flipping me off, and she won't leave.
Okay, but has she threatened anybody?
She did threaten another one of the other members and cuss at them.
Okay, did the employees ask her to leave?
Yes.
Okay, did she leave the area?
No, she's still recording.
Is she in her car?
In her car recording us, yes.
Okay, I'll send somebody out, okay?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Get in, please.
Can you get a couple of cars started up to Starbucks on a disturbance involving somebody, probably some type of mental health issue? She's inside threatening customers and staff.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
That was not going to be left alone by the management of Starbucks. They asked her to desist from harassment in the store and leave, but she refused and persisted in filming people and causing commotions. The police found that when they finally arrived at the place, she had verbally harassed many customers and had even threatened one earlier. With the police being present, one could see the lady out of the hall, but still in the parking lot filming people in her car. She would not leave, which was as if she wanted to enforce her presence on the entire Starbucks staff since they had communicated that she was no longer welcome. The police interviewed the customers who were there, including the one who made the first 911 call. That customer stated things just became unbearable for her, and that she no longer feels safe inside the store if this woman is around.
Hi, what can I do for you?
Yeah, so I was in the store and she was at the pickup window, meandering in the line, and her comment was something about don't do that, and then she started rambling off about how rude I am and just, being a little obnoxious, and I just said, look, it's fine. I didn't mean to. Please just stop talking to me like this.
Does she think you cut in front of her?
Yeah, she thought I cut in front of her. Well, then she starts calling me a crybaby and calling me names, getting all upset, and she just wouldn't stop talking. She's standing there waiting for a coffee, and she starts videotaping me and calling me a crybaby. And I said, I'm going to have to call the police if you won't leave, because I'm feeling threatened. Like, I really felt threatened. Even the other people and the manager, this was even after the manager came and asked her to stop commenting.
Is she making actual threats to physically cause you harm?
No, I guess she didn't. But I gave all the information, including the license plate number, to the lady that I was talking to on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Literally I'm that upset because she just would not stop. I am talking on drugs or something wrong, insane behavior that you would see on, and it's never happened to me before. I'm shaking. I'm so, I felt like the next stage was she was going to do something.
Okay. All right, let me talk to the manager and see what she wants to do about it. What do you want to do? Do you want? I want her trespass.
The police comforted the customers and staff that everything was all right, but they caught up with the woman in her car and kept getting more agitated. She refused to move because she did not feel she had done anything bad, be it to herself. She is filming for her safety. She had surpassed the limits in filming and abusive words, which will not provide a comfortable or safe atmosphere for those around her. At this stage, the police informed the lady that she was trespassed from Starbucks, and that by trespassing, she was not allowed to re-enter the place without possible lawsuits against her. Despite her protestations, the officers made it clear that she had to leave immediately. The lady finally drove away with further arguments and accusations hurled at the police and Starbucks staff.
Lieutenant Moffat asked me to relay this to you. So this form here, if you just want to read it in its entirety and everything.
I'll have my attorney look at it.
So it explains in there, if I may.
Please don't reach into my car,
Well,
officer.
I'm just taking the form back. So
Don't reach into my car.
I'm going to read it to you. It says, due to your high volume of repeated calls to the Gahanna Division of Police, starting at or about 6/6/24 through 6/7/24, you are hereby advised you are prohibited from calling Gahanna Division of Police non-emergency number for any other purpose than to report a criminal offense not previously reported to the agency, report a legitimate emergency through 911, or to advise that you are dropping off or filing an employee officer complaint using forms previously provided to you. Now, otherwise, for inquiries related to any ongoing investigation or previously filed police report or officer employee complaint, you may contact Detective Sergeant Phil Stacy, P. Stacy noted in here, at 614-342-4208, and or via email to philip.stacy@gahanna.gov. I've been here since 2 o'clock. These restrictions are in effect immediately and shall remain in effect until otherwise advised in writing. Yes. If you violate the terms of this notice,
I didn't have to call this number.
why have you called repeatedly? So,
Because
if you
didn't
violate,
come out and talk to me. I've been waiting out here for an hour.
if you violate the terms of this notice, you may be subject to criminal prosecution and arrest for another communications harassment. So, to reiterate, if you call for any other thing than to report a crime, or to say that you're doing it, making a complaint or anything, or did you have a complaint to fill out, which we have more complaint forms for you as far as like that, you'll be subject to arrest. It is a first-degree misdemeanor offense for telecommunications harassment. You'll be taken into custody. You'll be taken
to my questions now?
No. Once I'm finished explaining this, then you can ask your question.
I'm done listening to that.
So if you call them for any other reason other than to report being a victim of a crime or witnessing a crime or
getting records, which I've been doing,
you may call this number or email those.
Which I did.
Okay, they're not here all the time. If you call our dispatch to ask for records, that's a violation of this order. Okay, anything that's a violation of this is a first-degree misdemeanor. You're going to be taken into custody. I will have to call animal control for your dog, and we're going to have to impound your vehicle.
Buddy. Listen, it's been done once.
So there's there's your copy.
Okay.
So what questions do you have?
You're one of your little puppets here.
Yeah. So here's all your complaint forms if you'd like some more of those and everything.
I already got a bunch of these.
Well, you said you had them all. You said you had them all filled out. So
I did. Yeah, I needed more.
Okay.
You guys are on it. Thank you.
Okay.
Are you done?
So what questions do you have?
Yeah. So it says my occupation's Panda Express. I don't work at Panda Express. What is this?
Did you ever work there?
No.
Okay. I don't know.
Why are you guys making stuff up where I work?
Who took the report?
I have no idea.
Well, it says right on there who took the who the reporting off. I don't look at the reports.
Oh, all right.
So who does that say took?
Body. My body's not slim. Who says that? Who calls somebody's body slim?
Okay.
I mean, you can call that guy's body slim.
Okay.
You can call your body slim. I don't think I'm slim. Do you know what that's about?
All that information that when officers enter that, may I answer it? Because that's what I'm trying to do.
That's not it. Okay. Anyways, question number 3. So I watched the whole entire body cam from this trespass.
Okay.
No one ever stated that I threatened to punch them in the face. Where is this from?
Now, I didn't review that report. I wasn't there for that report.
Why did they send you out here? You don't know anything.
Because I'm the officer in charge.
But you don't know anything. Why are you talking? Can I talk to somebody that knows something? Like why my body is claimed as slim and why my occupation is Panda Express?
Okay. I don't know why that's in there. If you ever worked there, anytime someone is associated with theft, our record system links that stuff forever until it's changed later on.
Okay.
So if at some point, if we had contact with you previously.
Why did this person report? I watched the whole entire video. She was like, oh, you can't help me, I'm gonna leave. But she never told anybody that I threatened to punch them in the face.
Okay.
This is something the police department is literally adding.
You would have to talk to the officer who took the report.
If I'm gonna punch someone in the face, I'm not gonna tell them I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Okay.
Do you understand?
So
you just do it.
You're gonna have to talk to the officer.
I'm gonna punch you in the face. You don't do that.
Okay.
Do you do that? Do you tell people you're gonna punch them in the face?
No.
You just do it, right?
So anyways, you'd have to talk to the officer who took the report. Yeah, look and see who took the report.
So
Okay, well, who took the report? I don't know.
You're here and you don't know anything.
Okay.
So you're a CIT?
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna do what again? You're gonna take my dog and do what? Say it again.
If we need to, yes. So
Please.
anyways, we're done.
Hey, officer,
so if you would take care of yourself, okay? All right, have a good day.
One more time. No, I'm not done talking.
She has been issued that form. If you would assign me a status 1, please let me know when she calls back in.
One had to only look at the incident in Starbucks for one to identify a pattern of disruptive behavior. Similar to the McDonald's case, she was only walking into the public place, and issues quickly went from a minor encounter to major commotion. Her filming fellow citizens without consent and her use of very provocative language, coupled with not wishing to leave the premises when asked, were consistent with the issues reported at McDonald's. While the police did manage to resolve the situation at Starbucks without any person getting arrested, it was patently clear that the woman's behavior was part of a much larger pattern. Her repeated failure to respect others in public places was very fast becoming a serious problem. They made a note of her vehicle and ensured both Starbucks and McDonald's marked her officially trespassed from both their locations. Even at that, she remained a victim when instructed to leave both businesses. Her non-violent yet interfering conduct necessitated several police officers being called out in order to address the issue. It was apparent that if things kept on this way, there were other steps that may need to be taken in order to deal with the situation. Seriously enough with whatever problems she had that set her off to such a degree. It wasn't long in days after the Starbucks incident before her actions continued to get attention from the local police. The police didn't have to wait long before they had to be called again, as she was this time at another location to commit another scene. These 3 incidents combined with what happened at McDonald's and Starbucks were enough to get her arrested. The local police became better acquainted with this woman as they continued to receive numerous calls and reports regarding her disruptive activities. The final incident resulted when she again caused a public commotion that called for a 911 call. By this point in time, officers knew that she continued to engage in her pattern of conduct and would have to be more forceful in their response. When the officers reached the place, they met a woman who was acting aggressively to society as in previous cases. She was yelling at people, threatening others, and recording everything on her phone. Not willing to listen to their advice last time, she still maintained that she was right, even disregarding both the law and the people. The police told her she was under arrest for creating a public disturbance and for violating the trespassing orders issued not only by McDonald's but also by Starbucks. At first, the woman refused to cooperate. She argued with officers, said they were targeting her in an unequal and improper manner, and that she had done nothing wrong. Though, however, she had previously argued in a similar manner, the officers knew how situations could escalate further if the case was not dealt with promptly. After a short tussle, she was arrested. She was booked for resisting arrest, making a false alarm and reckless driving on the public highway. The officers also charged her with telephone harassment as well because she had called 911 multiple times without an emergency, thus not putting in much work into the system.
Headphones. You may calm down, let's see. Why do you it's all on it's all on video. It's all on video. You said
I'm gonna get the hobble out.
I can get in the car myself. You stupid. Look at you.
Hey.
Sometime following her arrest, one woman was subjected to several legal sanctions for the crimes of crime committed under circumstances of her arrest. Though some of those accusations were dismissed, she had been proven to have committed the crime of making false alarms. She received from the court 1-year probation with a fine of $382. The threat given against her during the warning that some additional offenses, and if she committed some more, she could be given worse penalties that have to do with law. The sequence of the events mirrors the complex problem of dealing with public turmoil and mental health conditions. No one ever suffered any bodily harm at her hands, but her behavior became an incessant nuisance to a business and its patrons. Inability to respect the most primitive elements of social etiquette, like leaving when asked or respecting people's private space, eventually met with confrontation in the form of a lawsuit. This case quickly became a point of discussion among local law enforcement and those in the community. Some regarded her actions as symptomatic of underlying problems, whereas others labeled her as a public nuisance who only needed to be brought to justice for her actions. Although her story did not culminate in violence, it reminded everyone of all the aggravation created when people disrupt public spaces and refuse to play by rules. The point made about the McDonald's, Starbucks, and other similar incidents was that individual rights have to be weighed in against the need for public order and safety.